This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The following will contain strong language, adult themes, and Mara. Listener discretion is advised. On with the show.
Hi, we're saying it's Nelle.
Hi guys, what's goody? It's Tammie.
Hey, it's your girl Mara.
And this is the Not Too Much podcast. If you know,
you know.
Hiya. How you guys doing? What? You know something? Six seasons in, and I still don't know how to say like my first word when we get into this. Like it's always like a hiya, hello.
As if it's some stranger off the side of the street.
I mean,
hiya.
It could be.
Huh?
It could be a stranger listening to us right now, or someone who's not familiar with the Not Too Much podcast.
Most of them, anyways. No offense, guys. We don't know you.
And there you have it.
And that's how we're hiya.
Hiya.
But we are in season 6. Can you imagine that we've done 6 seasons of this?
I can. It feels
we
like
started when we were 19, now 21. We've been through a lot when it comes to this podcast. Like, oh sorry, should I redact that from the record?
No, keep it in.
What? I was like, let me continue to do my thing. No, honestly, I will say, in ways, doing this podcast is probably like the best struggle I've ever done.
Oh, that's such a romantic way to put it.
Honestly, I'm just trying to get into our first topic. But I thought that it would be quite important to start highlighting something that's been on my mind recently.
Segways.
What am I here for other than that? But I'm curious to see what your guys' views are on the idea of romanticising struggle. And my key question actually is romanticising struggle currently in popular demand?
Oh? Hey.
And I've left it quite open first off. But, okay, anyone want to jump in? You want to give a view?
So the question is romantic struggle currently in popular?
We're starting with currently.
I would take a sip of my water.
Oh, from people who are no longer struggling, yes.
Huh?
Romanticising struggle is currently in high demand for people who are no longer struggling. Yeah.
No longer or have not ever?
Both.
I'm going to need you to elaborate.
Because, okay,
yes.
Let's get into it.
Please.
I feel like when social media and those motivational speakers met, collided, meshed, they came together, that was when we started to see how profitable aspiration really was. I mean, you could get those motivational speakers CDs and DVDs and whatnot, but to go on TikTok, to go on Twitter, to go on YouTube, to your favorite podcast, to listen to someone talk about the struggle and how they've had to work their way through it, whether they have or haven't, it goes both ways, that sells. And they make big bucks off it. Now, kudos to them, because for those who have actually been through the struggle, and are just trying to uplift people on the other side, but I see your work, I feel you, it's helping me. I'm tired. Ooh. However, it is high in demand because the people who are struggling, we're not feeling very romantic, are we? Not in this economy.
Wow. You know,
I know this is a topic 1.
Side note, I saw a TikTok. And it was talking about, this is a very, I think, specific experience. So,
okay.
But I saw a TikTok of people saying, why do people like come to uni and pretend
they're broke?
But then summer hits and they're off on the holiday home abroad with their private yacht.
They're in the south of France.
And I was like, you know what? Fair enough, because I have seen it.
Oh my god, student finance is they've just robbed me. Like, they haven't sent me anything. Yeah, Because your
you
parents
don't need it.
are filthy rich. That's why you got less student finance than everyone else.
Some of us have to max out.
Oh.
No, but do you know something that I think you guys have picked up on, which is interesting to me? Why do you think it is compelling or interesting to, well, at least in like social conversation, to say you have struggled or give off the idea that you have struggled? Is that the new social currency?
I think because it implies that you have good, I don't know how to say this, you have good qualities about you, like you'll work hard and you're dedicated and you're motivated and you persevere and blah blah blah, and to have those good qualities, apparently you have to always start from the ground and then build your way up.
It humbles you, and people don't like to see braggadocious people, especially in an age where celebrity is becoming more and more scrutinized. People aren't necessarily as happy to see a celebrity flaunt their riches and their wealth. So what better way to circumvent that by showing how much you have struggled to get where you are, and how anyone else can get that. They just have to endure that struggle. And to be quite honest, struggle is a way of validating most people's experiences, because most people will never see a huge amount of wealth in their lifetime that is sustained. Sorry, I'm really down.
No, it's true, because really,
there was no way to make this topic one line.
No, it's true, because they skip over the self-awareness of privileges
and luck.
And luck, because hey, some of it is not hard work. Some of it you just the right time, right place, right people. A lot of people who have struggled, like truly from bottom to the top, it was a combination of, yes, hard work, but hard work and you were just in lucky places. And the lucky places are running out. So I don't know what to tell you. They just jump over the self-awareness of privilege, and then we go back to the let's just try and, I say pretend to be humble. I'm not saying that everyone's pretending to be humble, but try to project a sense of humility. I could not tell you why. And I'm not villainizing these people. It is. That's what I mean. Like, because now on a small scale, right? I like younger people who are at uni and are struggling at this point, and I'm like, it's character building. Don't worry, been there, done that. Like I get it. I do romanticize uni a little bit, maybe because I'm a broke graduate, but I do romanticize that. I do romanticize that struggle, and this is on a smaller scale. So when uni kids who are genuinely struggling are like, oh, but I've got to do this and this, I'm like, don't worry, you'll make it out because of my ability, luck, hard work to make it out, and the privileges that I'm afforded as well. That not other people may not have. On a smaller scale, we all do it. We all romanticize struggle once we're out of it. It just is a bitter pill to swallow when somebody with unimaginable resources does that. Not to your face, through a screen.
And you've kind of framed it as a unifying idea, like we all do it. But do you feel like there's a certain demographic that gets stuck with this label of, oh, they're consistently romanticizing struggle? Because in terms of how I've encountered it, at least recently, I've heard this idea of kind of young people romanticizing their struggle, and I think it plays into a different conversation, but I want to know what you guys think. We're just trying to have shits and giggles because it's a shit time. Sometimes you have to romanticize it to get through. Yeah. I like what the whole, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Yeah. If you don't laugh, you'll stop. I think okay, that was different to how I was perceiving it. But young people romanticizing struggle, shit, the prospects are quite low right now. So have you seen fridgescaping? What's that? So what people are doing, right? They're taking things out of their fridge and they're like, landscaping. They're like building different themes in their fridge.
What?
Like garden themes, some book themes.
In the fridge?
In the fridge, and they'll take a picture, it's cute, whatever.
What?
I think the idea of having a fully stocked fridge with fresh fruits and vegetables is such a luxury that we are romanticizing that. And that's just one example of how young people romanticize the idea of living in a studio, high-rise studio by themselves. Oh my gosh, that's so cute, because we have to romanticize what was afforded before us, but not to us.
Ooh.
Because one of my other questions I was going to pose was, because I did start by saying it's currently in popular demand, but to me the idea of romanticizing struggle is nothing new. I can speak, just at that moment I fumbled my words.
Romanticizing struggle right now.
This girl will laugh at me all the time when I'm talking. I'm going to do a compilation. Remember last season when I was talking about leaving home?
No, you know what?
But what I wanted to say, I got off track there. what I wanted to say is romanticizing struggle is nothing new.
No, that's what literally hustle culture is built on. Hello.
Ooh.
Oh, get into it.
Gotcha.
Get it. No, get into it.
No, that's true though, especially in the black community.
Ooh.
We've always romanticized struggle. Shit.
The only way to get through the hellscape that is our society.
Yeah, we romanticize being oppressed.
Because it's a comforting thing to say that everything is romantic.
That's nothing new here.
Hi.
Shit, just people are catching on.
Wow.
It's true. Just other demographics are catching on. You think we were all laughing and happy and shits and giggles? No. That's it.
I think social media is giving us more proximity to this topic.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we can see, like you mentioned earlier, I think both of you, about the fact that we have these aspirational speakers, we have these people that are selling these ideas of motivation and talking about their own anecdotes of their own struggles and stuff like that, that we're like, oh my God, it must just be currently happening and it must be something that we're currently taking to. But girl, we've been here. What I tried to say before is there was no nice way to talk about this topic one.
No, but no, I don't have a but.
You don't have a but.
But if it helps you, romanticize, man.
But actually, what I will say is though, hey, hold on.
At what point does it become a problem? Because we've discussed it as
when you cosplay as the working class. Then I got something to say. That's
so
weird.
Romanticizing other people's struggles.
Don't romanticize other people's struggle as your own because it's not yours.
Let's
and I,
a little bit.
Hello.
Why are you going to council estates posing and taking Instagram photos?
No, sorry. I've been seeing that. That was a thing. It was a trend.
That's disrespectful.
That was so odd.
That's weird.
I remember thinking, are your wires connected? Like,
I'm confused. Listen. The more privileges I attain as I get older, I will be very proud of them and I'm holding on to them.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And we don't always have to humble ourselves. Black women.
Hey.
Or in the camera.
Let's just.
Black women.
Black women.
I'm talking to you.
We don't always have to humble ourselves. Humble ourselves for others. By talking about our struggles to make ourselves more palatable.
No, man. Just if you see me successful, but what about what?
What about what?
Shut up, man. Move out my face.
But Mara, I feel like you mentioned something like...
Hello, hi.
Hello.
Girl, as long as you're on this podcast, which is forever, by the way, I'm going to be talking to you. But you kind of mentioned something that I think alludes to this idea of a rejection of privilege. So... That's just like a small little question I want to ask you guys. Just a little Eba to you. Do you think, what's the reason behind a lot of people potentially, or people rejecting privilege? If it does align with their situation.
Again, I think it's to, and I don't know there's many layers to this. It's to demonstrate to...
What, like virtue signaling, like, in a way?
But my thing is, it would be more palatable to me for you to be aware of the privileges as I'm aware of my own. And just...
People want to be victimized.
Woo! Well, I didn't want to say.
Let's get very real now.
Mm-hmm.
If we're laying it out on the table.
Yeah, that's what this table's for.
About it.
Okay, the table, let's lay out the cloth. People want to be victimized. People want a level of attention. They want pity. And if their current circumstances don't afford them that, they want to attain that. What I found is, and it's been being around people who are of a different tax bracket that I'm used to. What I have found, a consistent trend, is not feeling like they are cared about enough. Weirdly. Oh, these people get X, Y, Z. These people get this and that, and this and that. And so they start cosplaying that narrative and almost wanting to be a part of communities that have been built of struggle, that have been built of oppression, and that are very tight-knit and have that love and that warmth because they want to be cared for. And so they victimize themselves to try and tap into those cultures. What becomes an issue is, instead of just being yourself and trying to be open-minded and learn about those cultures, they start to co-opt those cultures and then hike up the prices for people anyways.
Yeah. People want a character arc so damn bad that they'll stunt their own growth. Then I just have to sit back and laugh because, again, everything is romantic.
There you have it, guys. Welcome back, guys. Yep, you guessed it. You've made it to the promo break. Can you believe it's season 6 already? Now, let's get into the key details of what I need you to do right now. You better be following the NTM Pod on Instagram and the NTM Podcast on TikTok and engaging with your girls here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And why not leave us a little 5-star review? Come on, you know you want to. Anyway, on with the show. Guys, I feel like I've got my second wind for this next topic.
Hey.
Honestly.
What wind we talking about?
Well, I think we've already nicely touched on some of these themes in the first topic because we got into all the different ideas about kind of romanticizing struggle, what that looks like, cosplaying, and darling, it only gets deeper from here. So,
oh gosh, yes.
My next theme topic is about glamorizing financial dependence. But I want to ask you guys a question first off.
Okay.
What does financial dependence look like for you? And I know we probably have a specific point of view because of maybe our age, stage, background, stuff like that. So I'm curious.
What angle are we going on? For women?
Or for men?
Because I can't talk about it. I don't know about that.
Well,
I can.
I think
very limited.
I'm kind of talking about from more of like a personal space, so it probably would be for women, the way you would speak about
okay.
it. So.
Okay. Financial dependence, for my perspective, and I could be wrong. I don't know if I could be wrong on this, it's subjective. But it's almost when you are not, what's the word? It's not about being financially savvy, but you're not in control of your own finances. As in, there's another person that you are dependent upon to almost be that buffer and provide the finances within the space you are in. This, for me, it's hard to speak about from personally because I have a very rigid idea of what I see this as.
I would say when I hear the word financially dependent, what I do think of is a child. And a child in the sense of when you are a kid, for most people, their parents are the ones who are financially taking care of them. And so, yes, you can make requests. You can ask your mum, can I please get that sweet at the corner shop or whatnot? But your mum can say no because she's the one making the money, controlling the money, and can allocate money where and where not. When I think about financial dependency as an adult, it follows that same route. And this is not to say that the person dishing out the money is a bad person or will be cruel with it, but it does mean that you are reliant on their goodwill to help you out because you are a dependee.
Yeah, like if that person wasn't there,
you would be
in
a
trouble.
sticky situation.
In trouble. And almost kind of like this, the concept of like pocket money as a child, say we get pocket money for doing chores, almost translates over, and it's like you get pocket money, but you still have to kind of do, it's like a give and receive type of thing.
I feel like my understanding would be a blend of what you two have said. And I think looking at specific examples, I think especially still being in that university environment, as young adults, I do see that kind of financial dependence play out in terms of when it comes to like second year, when you get your own place, whether it's with people or independently, having that financial dependence of like a parent helping them out with, you know, part of the rent, or other aspects of maintenance and tuition and things like that. So reflecting specifically on like young adults, do you think that people are glamorizing this experience of being financially dependent? Do you think it speaks to something that we're not currently acknowledging maybe?
Yeah, I would say people are, and I don't blame them because we're in a very shaky time economically. Jobs are low, money is low, things are tight. So the idea for anyone, regardless of gender, sex, whatever, the idea of anyone coming in and being like it's all taken care of, naturally, I think people are going to glamorize that. It's dangerous, but I don't blame those that do because of just this state that we're in domestically. We're in the UK. So the state we're in domestically, but I would argue globally, we're all feeling a pinch in our pockets. And so especially for young people who, for the most part, were born into recession or have experienced multiple recessions in their lifetime, who have understood COVID, who, for our UK peeps, gone through Brexit, yeah, we're going to start seeing people glamorize wanting to be very well taken care of, having that knight or person in shining armor.
Yeah, because I think people are fatigued and tired and almost like, you know, when you were a kid and like in the car you'd pretend to fall asleep so you could get carried in the house. That's the kind of, I think, glamorization that people are seeking, which makes sense.
Like being looked after.
Being looked after.
Because it's interesting because I feel like in discourse that I've seen, and there has been a shift, I will say, but inversely, I felt more so that people kind of gravitated towards this idea of being financially independent. So being able to, and it's not necessarily for the reality of it, but the like aesthetic of being able to be more free and to have the freedom. But that comes with obviously being able to, like, your finances are sufficient. So being in a place where you have enough to be able to do what you want, the independence factor of it.
Well, I think the issue is people are beginning to think that that isn't possible for them. So it's just, there's two extremes, financially independent or financially dependent, and I think people are swinging that other way because they don't see in the near future that they can be financially independent, especially younger people. So it's almost kind of switched back. But what I also have an issue with is there is another side of this discourse online that is promoting financial dependence. It's coded, but like, and it's normally from older people. I think, and I have to come at it from a woman perspective because I don't know men. I don't care. But sorry, but there is this whole like, what's that thing called? Sprinkle. It's weird. That is where I think it's God.
Okay.
Because if we're gonna really get into it, that's the side. I don't know, because
I'm gonna make a statement. Okay. I might edit this out.
Yeah, because this is where it can go a bit.
If you guys hear a gap after this and it's just a segment of normal conversation, ignore it. But what I will say is financial dependence. Okay, where do I start? As housewives, as women who were domesticated, right? You were normally going to be financially dependent on the male figure in that house, whether it was your husband or your father. Okay, cool. And then women start to get more independent. They can make their own money. They can move out. They didn't need to go from, I think, Tammie, you mentioned it, like going from your father's home to your husband's. In a separate off-mic conversation, right? Oops, you don't need to do that. However, in seeing the economy and seeing how women are getting a bit insecure, rightfully so, there's a sort of reverting back, but they are copying methods of women or people who engage in sex work to have a level of financial dependence. Let's evaluate. If you are willing to give that up for a level of financial dependence, I will never villainize you. I will never talk down on you. But we need to understand what we're saying. If you want a meaningful, genuine relationship with the person that you would like to be financially dependent on, you're going to have to look a bit further than sprinkle.
Well, yeah.
Am I a little bit...
No, I'm so... This is the thing. It's a conversation that you cannot be euphemistic about.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what I was... touched...
Oh, sorry.
No. It's all right. Go on.
No, because one thing I was going to say just before it departs my mind, from what you said, especially with the target audiences of those sprinkle like videos, do you think there's a level of preying on certain demographics of people to be financially dependent, especially given how it's a thing that you can be quite susceptible to, given the realities of the times that we're living in?
That's my issue with it, because I'm like, as we've previously, this is why I didn't know whether to go with this, because I was like, yes, younger people right now, their hopes and dreams of financial independence, financial security, let alone independence, are dwindling by the second. And I think it is distasteful, that's the best way I could put it, for then that demographic of people to be preyed upon and been like, well, this is what you need to do to get what you want. When realistically, we should be looking around and being like, hold the fuck on.
why the provision's not there
already. Do you know what I mean? And that is where I take issue with things, because I'm like, what? And then for people to come on and then defend it and saying it's different to demonize sex work but then promote what you're promoting is crazy.
That's why
I'm like, but you're saying the same. Oh, but you're not a XYZ. Hold on now.
I hope you guys are listening to what Mara's saying. Open your ears.
Because what? Like, you're promoting the same thing, and then to villainize other people who engage in sex work. And when you are literally telling younger people to
young
do
girls
that, especially to do that,
it's tapped.
It's actually crazy. And that is why this whole glamourizing and financial dependence, it has so many different layers to it that get more sinister the deeper you go.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Exactly. And age is something that I think is one of the factors, but you can even expand further. It's vulnerable people.
Yeah.
Because I think even when we look at financial dependence, I know the conversation initially started with young, but even young is a subjective term to a lot of people. Because this is the oldest I've ever been in my life currently. So she
phrased it.
So when I'm thinking of young, I know it's probably plus a couple years from the age that I currently have now. But even those in their 30s are still vulnerable and susceptible to this as well. And beyond that, it's like looking at people that are in financially precarious situations that are incredibly susceptible to the messages like Mara has just touched on.
What I will say is, it is quite sad. And again, I want to reiterate that we are not blaming anyone for this. It's just our reality. It's quite sad that instead of young people feeling more inclined to question and probe their governments and institutions to do something for not even everything, just something for them, right? They feel more inclined that they're going to get better results from financial dependence in that sort of a sense. Like, we and I just collectively as just young people have such little faith in our institutions, our government, that the only thing we can do is glamorize that.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is why I'm like, of course young people are going to glamorize that. Of course, everyone of all ages going through what we're going through right now, they're going to glamorize it. My fear is acting on that.
Yeah. You feel like there's a disconnect between the thoughts, the feelings, and then the act itself, because we've talked about topic one, romanticising, this one, glamorising, the need to feel to paint a brush over your realities or universal realities. And then feeling as though it stops there. All I can do is think and ponder, but not actually act.
I would say, for me personally, if someone was to come into my life, in whatever form, and was like, I'm going to pay for your student debt, and I'm going to give you enough money to figure things out for yourself, I wouldn't do anything. But if you could just deposit that, I'll give you my sort code and my account number, and you can start depositing that money. However, it's one thing to be like, if it comes in, like little Jakey Jake. It's another thing to actively seek that out. And again, I'm not villainizing it if you do. Do your thing, do it. However, that is a slippery slope because
there are people that do not value your safety,
are exploitative as
and predators.
So many, and because of that, I feel like we just need to start saying things how they are. To what the sprinkle no.
Do you think a lot of these conversations, whether it's on the stance of financially independent or financially dependent are just all rooted in survival.
Yeah.
Hello?
Sounded very like Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, for sure. Oh my God, yes.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
You exist.
Guys, why are we laughing like that?
Because
you end up laughing like her.
Yeah.
Big sister general. Jesus is Lord. So I think that's where we wrap this topic in a neat little
because
bow.
you see, nothing's funny.
It's not.
Everything is
Romantic.
I've been now.
I've been Tammie.
And I've been Mara.
And this has been Not Too Much. The podcast. The musical. If you didn't know before, you know now.
Jazz hands.
Dum 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 dum
Not today. Not today. Romantic.